Can you see him? Oh, there's an ant and a termite. They don't like each other. Oh no! Oh no! I didn't mean to do that, termite. I don't think he's gonna make it. Sorry, bro. Can you walk? Hey, good morning from Tempe, everybody. Doing a sewer cam and a termite inspection only at this house today. It's kind of unusual because I get in the house and it stinks really bad, like smoke and like moisture. The first thing I noticed is they had the main water shutoff turned off right there. And we've got all this stucco starting to peel away. It's telling us that there's been moisture. So this is what I saw when I got into the house today. All of this is water damaged, termites. Ugh. Something was leaking. That goes right into the garage there. There's the damaged materials getting out of here. And some of the areas they were cleaning up. So I'm going to do the sewer cam inspection, but then we're going to come back through and check all these areas. See how much termite damage actually got done. Oh, we got termite tubes over here already. Look, 1, 2. Is that them over there too? Yeah, look at that. Big old termite tube. So we've got plenty of termites here. So with termites, I can't spray anything. I'm not a qualified applicator. I'm just an inspector, so I can't really apply anything. So it really makes more sense if you already have termites and you know you have termites, just get somebody that can come in and give you an estimate for treatment. But we're gonna go ahead and start the sewer cam, starting at a plumbing jack right above this, no, right above that area. So I'm gonna find a bathroom in the hallway here. And we're gonna run this bathtub. No, we're not, because the water's off. I forgot. So I guess we're doing a dry run today. There's no water at the house. That means my sewer camera's got to go down through those pipes without any type of lubrication. If we run into some cast iron pipes or something like that, you know, you gotta stop before you damage the camera. But so this is where I'm set up. I'm gonna go up to the roof now and get started. We're at a roof vent stack right now, plumbing vent stack right in the middle of the roof. This should be above the hallway bathroom. We're gonna try and get into the drain system this way. Now we don't have any running water, so there's no way for us to lubricate the line or help us push the cable down. It does look like ABS pipe, so hopefully that'll be good. Sometimes we can get some problems when going through roof vents because of those 90 degrees that we just went through, but it looks like we got through it pretty good. Now we're starting to get into the drain system here. We've got a drain that connects into the vent stack. Now we're in the horizontal pipe. It does look like ABS, which is a good sign. Now again, without any running water, I'm not going to be able to tell how well everything is flowing. I'm not going to be able to tell if there's a belly or not. A belly is a low spot in the pipe, and I can only see that if there's water in the pipe. Just debris on the pipe on the inside there. Definitely going to want some hydrojet maintenance, which is just pressure washing the inside of the pipe. I recommend that on almost every house I go to. It just helps clean the pipes out to make sure that they're nice and smooth. Now there's an alleyway behind this house, so the plumbing system likely goes out to the alleyway to the north. Now when I go through a roof vent, I lose about 12 to 15 feet of my camera length just on the vertical drop, so we're going to hopefully get out to the city connection here, past those trees in the backyard. So it does look like there's a clean out there, 67 feet. It looks like there's a connection for some type of clean out somewhere back there in the backyard. This should be where it drops into the city connection here. Yep, right there at 97 feet from the roof jack. We have the city connection. So nothing like doing a dry sewer camera inspection. Went down this plumbing vent stack. There was another 2-inch over there, a wider one, but this one's right above that hallway bathroom. So we went right down, angled around a little bit, and I suppose your drain system, I didn't do any locating today, but I think it goes around to the back into the alleyway. Most of these older homes that have drain systems and the home has an alley in the backyard, that's usually where that drain line goes. Now this backyard kind of juts back and then off to the side, so you have access over there in the corner. Talk about pomegranate trees. That's a pomegranate tree. I've never saw one so big. That thing is huge. One thing we're always looking for on termite inspections is vegetation, touching the home, touching the roof, touching anything where the termites can get in and literally just tunnel a highway right into your attic. Look at the roots on this thing. All the roots pushing up in there. We've got a step crack starting right here, going up to the window. This root comes around, still going all the way up here. So that's probably from that old tree right there that's probably been dead for several years. But just think how big those roots were underneath your home, all the way in your backyard. So we're at a corner lot. No worries, man. Uber guy just tried to pick me up. Yeah, so anyway, we're at a corner lot. This backyard wraps around. We had a big tree here, root damage, poking into the house. This is a 1977 house, so that tree is probably from the 70s. We've got some water damage in several areas around the base of the home, particularly behind the stucco. Now, not everything behind the stucco is wood. Concrete, but above that concrete and behind it, we've got the garage wood and everything back there. So this is what we're looking at on the other side of that wall from moisture. You can see we're right on the inside of that. Excessive moisture. Look at all that black stuff that's You know what that is. I'm not supposed to say the 4-letter word. But look at all this. This is all termite damage. Now granted, we have subterranean termites. They don't cause damage really quickly. It takes them a while to get stuff done, but they can still damage stuff if you don't catch them for a while. This is all rotted out. This whole baseboard is, yikes. Look at that. I don't see anything active in there. It's actually really dry right now. But that board's got to go. Nope. That one's shut too. Look at that. They got a little tube on the back here. See that? That's their little hole that they come out of, and then they build a little tunnel and tube, and if they decide to continue, they'll just keep building out. But if they hit the wall like they did right there, they'll just close that tunnel off and they'll go back in and they'll find another way out. Yuck. Man, that's a lot of stuff in here. So we want to check these as well. See if anything got damaged. You see that? A little bit of damage there. Just in a few spots, but see the little tunnel or channel they were digging out, eating out. Water damaged wood, letting the termites in. Yeah, even this down here is pretty shot. Definitely need repairs through this section. Obviously, they're working on it. You can see the tunnels that they leave the debris on the insulation there. Those are all termite tunnels. So they were going up behind the sheetrock in the wall. So let's go take a look in the garage. That looks like moisture leaking out of there. Oh boy. Look at that line. Dot, 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 dot. It's Morse code saying, hey, we're frickin' here. We're here. Look at that. Tunnel all the way through that trim board. All the way through, you see? It was cracked out and they fill in those little cracks with their stuff to make a fully formed tunnel. Yikes. So anytime we see them on the ground, we look up because they like to tunnel up as well. Yeah, we got more termite tubes under there. In that corner, look at that massive one. That's like an interstate. Oh, we got a little bug down there, but that looks like an ant. It doesn't look like a termite. Oh, no, that's a termite. Can you see him? Oh, There's an ant and a termite. They don't like each other. Oh no! Oh no! I didn't mean to do that, termite. Ah, oh, dude, I knew they didn't like each other, but I didn't realize it was that bad. That's crazy. That ant is just messing him up. Where's the soldier? Oh, you're just carrying him off. You're just like, all right, we're out of here. Dude, that's awesome. Where you going, Mr. Ant? Are you gonna leave him now? Dude just left him. Yep, he's done. Battle's over. Oh, is he coming back? Ants are pretty good about smelling their way back to stuff, so maybe they'll find him again. Yep. Right there. Oh, we got more ants. This is like an ant termite battle going on right now. I think I just interfered in World War 24. Oh boy. That's pretty awesome. Let's see, do we have any more termites in here? Oh yeah. More termites. There's the ant and the older termite. Definitely have active termites today. Uh-oh. Got another ant coming in. Battle's on. No, he didn't care. Maybe he didn't see it. That other termite's messed up. He's like, ah. I don't think he's gonna make it. Sorry, bro. Can you walk? That ant messed you up pretty good. I'll be honest, I hope he comes back and takes you out, but good luck. Alright, so this is how active this guy is. There's a brown termite in there, another one. Still got these ants. Ants marching around. Bump. Bump, bump, bump. Oh, there's one going up in their tube. He went from the ground, skipped that whole tunnel right there, and went right up to the top one. There's more termites down here. Disturbed them. Yeah, they don't like to be exposed. Looks like a little soldier termite with his big pincers on the front. Well, anyway, I had my fun. This is all termite damage. This whole trim board, all the way over, completely termite damaged. This whole thing's gotta go. No question, right? Look at all this. That's all termite and water damage. Yeah, we're gonna need some major repairs back in this section of the home. And what do you know? It's by the water softener and water heater. Pretty typical. And where do I say you usually get the most termite action? This wall, right between your garage and the front door, especially around water valves, water pipes, things like that. We have extensive termite damage over here, back there. This whole water heater plenum has been eaten out by termites. Look at all that water damage on the bottom side of that plywood. But then we got a brick wall, thankfully, that might stop them from going that way any farther. We're gonna look up. Some pretty good cracking up there. Nice little step crack there as well. Brick walls you don't have as much to worry about. They usually can't tunnel all the way up to your attic through a brick wall. But we need to scan them anyway. When you have garage form boards that go all the way down to the ground like that and you can't see the bottom, where you think the termites are going to get in, you think you're ever going to see a little tiny termite tube back there. They're going to tunnel up there, get into your trim. Look, there's been some damage right there already. For sure. That's either water or termite damage behind that. Pretty typical ceiling crack up there. Same with that one. When they're in a complete straight line like that, it's usually just a sheetrock joint or something. But we got that big tube right there. See, they get up so far and then they stop. They don't go up any farther because they didn't find wood. They felt like they were losers and they didn't find anything to eat, so they turned around and came back. So you gotta check all these areas again with the wood trim all the way down to the ground. Not a big fan. We got another termite tube back behind this wall. Another monster back there behind these shelves. And tubes all along the back wall, and this is all the debris that they cleaned up out of their own rat poison. Great. Yeah, that's just all termite damage, sheetrock and wood. There are termite tubes. Every wall of this garage has a termite tube. Hey. Now let's see what we got in the house. Checking the closets. Check the trim. Mainly looking for little termite tubes that pop out or any damage. Bathroom. Looking up on the ceilings, looking all the way around. Looking back on the walls. Looking underneath the... Ooh. That doesn't look too good. Something's been dripping for a while. That's gonna bring those termites in too. Alright, follow the next wall. We're just basically like NASCAR drivers. We get in here and we just keep going left. Left. That way we don't miss anything. Once we start going right, then we have problems. So a lot of the times it's actually easier for me to see things with just a flashlight. And to keep the lights off. I can get more shadows that way, and shadows are very telling when it comes to termite tubes. You can see a lot of the paint flaws easier too. Peach and white. Primary closet. Primary shower, bathroom. Checking back here. Well, I don't know, it looks like somebody either retextured or somebody has a hard time hitting the toilet. Water damage by the bathroom shower. So that's another conducive condition for termites. Don't see anything in the shower. Just a little bit of water damage there. Under the sink, so yeah, more black stuff. Oof. And we even got a bedpan in here with more black stuff. This house is not safe to be in. Now I'm gonna start coughing. Oh, great. Make our next left. See, usually I do this while I'm doing a home inspection, so it's really no extra time. Because I'm looking at all these areas while I'm inspecting for the house anyway. Just want to make sure got everything looked at. Mid-century home, I love it. Plywood, straight from the 70s, man. So like those little black dots up there, those are what you have to look out for. What is that? That's just debris. That's not a termite tube, but that's the kind of thing that they look like. So, down the doors, walls, shelves, windows. See, I'm really looking for a shadow, something that sticks out of that wall and casts a good shadow. Ew. There's like lotion or something on that closet door handle. Come on. Closets are clean. Continuing left. Checking here and there. Closet hallway. I don't know what that is, but it's not a termite, so I don't want to know. Yeah, so you can tell when somebody adds texture, redoes texture, especially when you have a flashlight. You can tell the two differences, can't you? But you take that away, it's how much a flashlight can help. I don't know what that is, but I don't think it's a termite. Crazy little, look at that thing. Got the 2 ducks up here. 3 ducks. Tell me there's a 4th one. No, just 3. Wow. Feeding 3 ducks off that one branch. Kind of crazy. Don't see that very often. So we're gonna continue looking over here. Termites, water damage, water leaks. Check the fireplace. Sometimes they'll dig in behind the fireplace too. You get bad flashing on a chimney or something, they'll love those fireplaces and chimneys. Do I want to know? Not really. Ugh. Yeah. Water damage back there too. Black stuff. Not as bad as the bathroom, but this whole countertop is pulling away. Crazy. Alright, so keep looking in cabinets for termites. These are the areas that go unnoticed, and that's why we have a job. People aren't thinking about looking in their cabinets, behind their dishes and things like that for termites, but that's usually where we find them. Some unusual place that people aren't looking at. Ooh. Look at that crack. Now see, that's not a straight crack. That is a very random crack. That's a straight crack. Goes straight with the wall, right? Not so much on this one. That's, something's moving. Might not be too concerning right now, but I saw a few places on this house. Actually, there are step cracks on the outside wall right by that too. So, structural. Alright, we made our way around the house. Not a real massive house, but termite inspections aren't tedious, but they are thorough. You look at every wall in the garage, any place we can. What we're gonna end up doing now is, ooh, gross, just dirty. Actually, that little crease down there, that's for moisture. Some type of water leak, water intrusion right there at the corner. Oof, that's a good one. That is a really good one. So you see the difference of this. Let me zoom in a little bit. So this crack, it's really small, right? But when you get over here at the edge, it's getting bigger and bigger. So that's wider at one edge. So you can imagine those areas are getting pulled apart away from there. I'd be a little bit concerned about some structural movement on this property. I'm not doing a full home inspection, so oh boy, is that that's water damage right behind the front door. Looks like you got water pooling on the inside of the house. You know, wood is still good, so I'm not too concerned about that. How are you getting water all the way up there? Is it just wicking up, or it must be spraying? Why are you irrigating so much back in here still? There's nothing back here. That's weird. The main water line is off. You can see right there, but our irrigation lines are wet. How does that work? I'm confused. Alright, let's get up in the attic. So we've got an attic hatch right here in the laundry room, right on the inside of the garage. So our water damage, major water damage right there. We're gonna go up right in front of it. Now remember, this is just a termite inspection, guys. There's a lot of stuff probably that we're gonna want to look at that doesn't have anything to do with our termite inspection today. But because those termites were so prevalent in the garage, I'm concerned that they made their way up here. Let's look around a little bit. See, like things like that, broken truss, sistered with a 2x4, bunch of screws in it. Nothing was approved, so I don't know. I'll bring this up to the client, but it's not really what I'm here for. So I know it's a little crazy when you're walking around in an attic, because you see these bottom cords over there, there's no insulation, so you can still see them, and then over here we get insulation and they're invisible. But when we're walking, our feet are touching it, and we're paying attention with our feet. So my foot just touched this and I heard some cracking. Look at that. All the way up here in the attic. So how extensive is the termite damage? We'll never know until we get all the insulation out of here. See, it's just unsure about how much damage that is, because it looks perfectly fine on the outside. It's not until we start getting on the inside that and touching it that we can feel that it's damaged. So it's hard to say how many are like that until you pull this insulation out of here. You may never know. Let's just try the next one for giggles. All right. Solid. That one's good. It's very random, right? That insulation back. It's very random, and I'm just lucky that I found this one. That was just kind of a stroke of luck. See, this is where I'm stepping. It's really scary because if the termites eat that whole board out and there's no strength left, I'm going right through the roof, right? So I'm listening for cracking, listening for any movement while I walk. See, that board was exposed too, but solid. So the one that was termite damage was right back here. Right? There's this one. Look at that. That's even termite damage on the top. So I'm pushing that in. There's a termite tube right here. Starts right there. You guys can see that, right? Oh, there's the front of the house. This is where your water leak is happening, right in this area. Right above it, that's where you got damaged trusses from termites. I know I'm not going to pull up the insulation at every one of these trusses. At this point, we know that they're up in the attic, and I'm not going to be able to see everything until we get the insulation out of here. But really, when you have attic damage in your termite damage in your attic like this, it's not a good thing. We have inadequate ventilation when this house is built. Like, we got two gable vents. We got a gable vent down there, gable vent there. There's no soffit ventilation. There's no soffit vents. There's little tiny holes. They got a turbine here, turbine there, and a turbine down there. Those turbines weren't here 50 years ago when this house was built. Those turbines probably only got put in the last maybe 10 years. They should have put screens on them to keep the bugs out, but you know, when you just have those vents on the side, you get excessive moisture up here in the attic. You can tell by the dark spots on the insulation on the ductwork. That's moisture. Duct tape, come on. No duct tape. No bueno. So I'm trying to look at some of these bottom cords, see if they make any noise. This is another condition that we recommend against to keep the termites out of your home. This is internal drain for the condensate line for the HVAC system mounted on the roof, called rooftop package unit. Heat pump, but it's 3/4 inch PVC line that carries that condensate over to a bathroom drain. And then that drops down into a bathroom drain. What this can happen is it's 170 degrees up here, especially with inadequate ventilation. This PVC will get hot, brittle, crack. You could possibly get a leak right there. It would drip down into your attic, and then again, termites, water damage, all that. A little bit of water staining up on the roof surface. A little bit more by the HVAC system. See, this thing it's cracked out. You know, we don't want to be over dramatic about things. It's solid. Is there a crack in it? Yeah. Well, it's not really broke. It's more like split. So It's not really a red flag in our book. Not that it isn't something to pay attention to, but it's not a major problem right now. If we called out every crack, we'd never sell a house. So again, I'm feeling with my feet, seeing what makes a noise, if anything. No crunchiness right here anyway. You can see the insulation sticking to the boards because they're sweating, I think. Oh no, this, look at all this. This looks more like lint than it does insulation, doesn't it? That's more like lint. That's not cellulose, that's stinking lint. Alright, so this is over the garage. We know we had some termite tubes over on this wall going upwards, but because it was a brick wall, I don't think they ever got up. A little bit of a crack on that truss. Alright, you can see that's that sap I'm telling you about when it gets super hot up here in the attic and this old wood just sweats. Pretty cool looking actually. But that can be mistaken for termite tubes trying to stick out. See how it just comes out the bottom of the wood there? It's kind of the same thing that termites do when they're trying to plug up their tunnel. Yeah, a little bit of water damage around that plumbing jack. Into a wall cavity here that's not being used right now. At least we can get a look down there and see if there's any termite action. Looks pretty clean. Alright, back to the hatch. So, areas of concern today. Ventilation, I think, could be improved upon a little bit with soft ventilation. I'm alright with gable and turbines, but you know, this is a inadequately vented attic space to begin with, so you got to think about how you're going to get cool air from the bottom to push out the hot air at the top, and not just hot air at the top getting out. You need something to push that cold air out. But our termite damage is right back there. Here's the hatch. It's right back in that corner above where the water heater is. Termite damage. Big time concern. I would get somebody in here to give you some estimates for repairs, and because it's up in the structure, you're probably going to need a structural engineer as well. It's kind of a big deal. Termites are kind of a big deal, and that's why we go in the attic and inspect up in the attic at a termite inspection instead of just walking around. You can find a lot of stuff in the attic if you just get up there and look. Yeah, that's what happens in those old dirty attics. It's not so clean up there, guys. But at least we got up there today. We found the stuff that we needed to find. I'm happy about that. I'm completely fine with what we found. We need somebody in to give an estimate for repairs and provide some termite treatment. Man, that's lovely, right? Anyway, thanks for watching today, guys. Termites are a thing. You got to pay attention to the water. Water is number one. You pay attention to that water, prevent water from pooling up around your house or draining around your house or plumbing leaks, things like that. You'll control your termites. Moisture. This area right here, big time no-no. Big time no-no. Keep the irrigation out of here, especially on these older homes with faulty grade, locked in by sidewalks. There's nowhere for this water to drain but go down or wick up into the walls. What do you think is happening? That's exactly what's happening. So this is actually the backyard. That goes out to the alley. And I didn't see any clean outs back here anywhere. It's interesting how they got this fence fixed. But yeah, I don't see any clean outs over there anywhere. But my guess is the drain line snakes around this way. Possible it's underneath all these rocks. in this corner, comes out from the house, comes around this way. I don't know. I don't have a locator. I wish I did. That way we could ensure we know exactly where this pipe is. My best guess is it's in the backyard here. Look at all the pomegranates. Just hundreds of them on this tree. They're in season right now too. But every once in a while you get a couple that are pre-eaten. Man, that is a big tree. But I didn't see any cleanouts on this side of the property. Look at all the water though. I mean, love that you guys have these nice big trees, but this excessive moisture is just, it's damaging the wall. It's getting into the house. It's just too much. This must be grapefruit. Grapefruit, lemon, maybe a lime. See if there's any for picking. I don't think so. This one's a little premature yet. Well, is that a... There we go. That's a pretty good one right there. These are getting pretty big up in there. Rotten. Yeah. Grapefruit over here. My wife likes grapefruit. I'm gonna grab one of these for her. It's probably not ready, but it's a good size one, huh? Alright. Just see the moisture, man. Just too much. Way too much moisture. All around this house. Vegetation touching. Vines growing up into the attic. Inadequate drainage. You know, pick that up a little bit. Make sure all this gets away. Look at just what that hump does. Just having this little hump here keeps all the water against the house and keeps it from draining. Now you're growing moss. If you just had a nice little slant, wouldn't have those problems. Same thing here. This is your roof runoff line. All the water hits here and it comes back to the house instead of going out to the yard like it's supposed to. It's not a hard fix. Just people don't pay attention, don't care. Yeah, it's really not that big of a deal. Bring in some more dirt. So just consider this. Most of your termite inspectors that you're going to hire to come out to your house aren't going to go in the attic. They wouldn't have caught that today. I'm not saying that I'm better than a typical termite inspector. I'm saying that I have the ability to do an attic and I'm completely comfortable with it. I don't have any problem with going up in there and finding stuff. It's actually where we find most of the damage because nobody else looks for it. So years and years and years go by and I'll find it, make it a big deal, but that damage could have been there for 10, 15 years. We don't really know. So I'm not saying that I'm better than a termite inspecting company. They can actually provide estimates, do the work, and they know what they're doing. But I've never seen one of them get a ladder out and go walk around in the attic unless they're at a house like this where it's extensive. So I'm glad that we found it today. I hope they can get it taken care of and remediated, but this is a investor house. So they're probably going to be taking a lot of that stuff out and just replacing it all. Alright, so we got to lock up. Make sure the house is locked. Make sure that this water valve is off. And then throw the key back in there and we're good to go. Yeah, so this stupid lockbox doesn't even lock. So much for securing that. It looks brand new too. Alright, so let's mess up the numbers a little bit and see if that works. Okay. God, that's cheap. Cheap ass lockbox. Alright. Wonderful day. Have a good day, guys. You see that sewer cap right there in the middle of the road lines up with the alleyway right here. And that fence right in front of us is your backyard gate. So you can see the sewer line likely travels underneath the alleyway back here, and your sewer line likely connects up back here. That's your backyard. You got a manhole cover in the street here. And you got a manhole cover here. And a small one up there. So it's a possibility that that came in from the side of the house here. It's a possibility that it comes out this way. Without knowing where those cleanouts are, it's really hard to indicate without a locator device. But we don't have any manhole covers in the street here in front of the house. Nothing. So when there's no manhole covers in the street, that's usually a good indication that the sewer line doesn't run under the street as well. Hopefully that helps. Thanks for watching today, guys. Home Inspector Dan. We'll see you next time.